Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so today we're going to do a bit of an experiment, but I wanted to give this the attention it deserves. I got a new 5x7 jelly plate. Remember I used to say that, well, maybe you don't because you might be new, but the 5x7s used to be kind of like my redheaded stepchild of a jelly plate. And it has now become one of my favorites. So we're going to double up today. We're going to double up the platage for this experiment. All right, so I watched this video, and I've been saying this woman's name all morning so I wouldn't forget, but guess what? I forgot. Her name is... Oh, shoot, darn, you guys. I will link to her. Hold on. What is her name? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is so rude. I'm so rude. Oh gosh. Jacqueline Jimerson. So Jackie Jimerson. All right. Now the video on YouTube is quite old. It's, gosh, 4 years old, I think is what I saw. But anyway, put that away. But I thought the concept of it was really interesting. And basically what it says is by using different paper weights to like clear your stencil in order to pull the ghost from it gives you different depth of your stencil. So I was like, that's cool. And she just used like one kind of paper. I think she used a 80-pound paper or 100-pound paper. I'm not sure, but I've got several. Okay, so we're gonna use rice paper, 24-pound printer paper. I love that I labeled it and I put paper on there, just in case you weren't sure this was paper. Then we've got 80-pound, 110-pound cardstock, and then 140 pounds. So I had no idea that I had so many pounds of paper, but I've got lots of pounds of paper. So I'm going to use each of these, and then we're going to look at the stencils and see the amount of depth that we were able to get from them. And the idea is that the harder the paper, the less it will bend into the stencil and the less paint comes up. So it leaves this like outline around whatever stencil you're using and gives it some depth. So I want to compare all of them. Now, believe me, I want to go right to the 140 pound and check out the depth, but we're going to work our way up. So I'm only using 2 stencils today, and I'm only going to be using a couple of colors. I'm not going to be doing all the Artie McArterson stuff. I'm just going to keep it simple in order to play with this theory. And obviously, I'm super stoked. So this is right in my wheelhouse, right? Because I'm an analyst, and I'm like, yes, let's get some data, and let's figure it out. So I'm just grabbing... Okay, I got it together. So these are going to be our... background colors. We're going to do the color, and then we're going to pull the ghost print, and then this will be the color that we use to pull everything off. And then I'm going to do what she did, and I found this Payne's Gray, and I need to get rid of it because I have the big Payne's Gray. So we're going to do just Payne's Gray as the forefront on all of them. So we've got yellow ochre and titanium white. Oh man, I don't want titanium white. Fuck, I can't get it together. All right, I don't want titanium. So we're doing unbleached. Unbleached. That did not look like titanium white. So we're going to do the yellow ochre, the unbleached titanium, and then the Payne's Gray. All right? So first thing we're going to do, and I have all these papers labeled where I'm doing the pull, so hopefully I don't get lost, is we're going to do, okay, I'm going to do them one at a time because they're going to have some drying time anyway. Oh, I'm using the new one. Whoa. And people say, oh, you should cure it and blah, 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 blah. I've never cured a new one. Oh, but look, hair. Hair right there. Wouldn't be a session if we didn't get hair. Okay, so my background is going to be this guy. And the first paper that I'm going to use is rice paper. So I'm going to use the rice paper to pull off the paint. Okay. And I want to get it nice and clean. Move it over if I have to. Okay. And then we'll pull this off and we'll let that dry. Okay, so that was rice paper. So I actually labeled even the papers that I'm pulling up rice. Okay, so I won't get messed up. And we're gonna just move our way up. So the next would be the 24-pound paper. 24-pound is just like printer paper, just regular old paper. Okay. So this is so fun. Here's my backgrounds. And we're gonna just do regular old 24-pound printer paper. I'm glad I put paper on there so we knew, right? Because see, it's leaving this little shadow around here. So it's crisp, but with a shadow. This is a bit crisper. Maybe it just looks that way because it's a new one. Okay, so that was the printer paper. So that was the 24 pounds. And then we're going to do a pull and clean off the background. So here's the rice paper pull, and here is the 24-pound pull. Okay, hopefully that's enough time. Okay, this is the rice paper pull. And then this is the printer paper pull. Okay, so I'm already starting to see some differences in the two. So the rice paper, it leaves a much crisper line, whereas the 24-pound paper doesn't. So, gosh, I'm really interested to keep seeing what happens. Okay, so that was rice and 24. So now we're going to do 80 and 110. I'm so excited. This is so fun. I mean, it seems like an obvious thing, right? Well, of course, that's what happens. But I've never heard anyone talk about it. So, hey, let's test it out. Especially because she only did a few, she only did like 2 papers on hers. And wasn't the point of her video. Okay, so now we're going to do 80 pound. And I'm sure if I went back into some of her other videos, she probably did do some kind of, you know, testy test. Now, I'm not rubbing super hard. I'm not rubbing super hard. This is the 80 pound. I'm just trying to get up enough. Now, she actually would pull it up and flip it. And she was, you know, kind of using both sides. So that's what I'm going to do. I didn't want to go back into the troves of her stuff and things. I wanted to do it myself, so that's why we're here this morning. Okay, so I'm gonna get some of that. Oh, I don't want that schmutz there, you guys. No schmutz. We're trying to keep it clean. This is for science. Okay, so then you are gonna dry. And then we've got this guy here who is going to be the 110-pound paper. We're getting into some thick paper, y'all. Here's the 110. Trying not to overlap too much. 110-pound paper. Just rub in it so it gets clean. Not hard. And I'm going to do what she did and just kind of pick up, take a peek, do it a second time. It's hard for me not to rub hard because I really want to be like, get in there. But that's not the point of this, right? There we go. So we've got 80 and 110. That's pretty dry. It's such a light little bit of paint, so it's drying pretty quickly. All right, so now we're going to pull. This is the 80. This is the 110. Yeah, I'm so glad I went with the unbleached titanium instead of white. I mean, white would have been lovely as well, but this is the look I was going for. So 80, come here, little friend, 110. And then again, I'm going to have to be right back because they got to dry. Okay, now we're going to pull these backgrounds. This is the 80. Okay, and this is the 110 pound. You know, I see a difference, but it's kind of, I don't want to say negligible because it's not negligible, but I do see a difference. The higher the paper, the more the shadow. So, gosh, this is just like night and day, the rice paper. All right, so let's do the last one, which is the 140 pound paper. All right, so this guy here. Trying to move this around a little so they all look a little different. All right, so for the 140, I'm not rubbing super hard. She did not rub super hard on any of these. So she did rub and then pick up, check it out, and then rub again. So that's what I'm doing. Now, if I were smart, I just would have moved the paper over to the side. Now I'm getting paint all over my hands. But no one ever accused me of being smart. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure all the little holes are kind of gone out. All right. Ooh, painting in the morning. All right, nope, this is 140, 140. All right, see you in a second. Gonna let it sit here and dry. Okay, that should be enough time. So let's give it a pull. Wow, that one's very different. This is very, very much full of depth, very depthy. Wow. And I'm going to post pictures at the end of these too, so you can kind of look. So this is the difference between the 110 and the 140. Can you see? 110, 140. Lot of depth in both of these, but this one's crazy depth. Okay, so we're going to go and do the top layer now. Doing the exact same thing. So I'm going to do rice paper on rice paper. You know, 110 on 110. And then as this last break, I wasn't making coffee or doing other things. But anyway, during this last break, I'm actually decided that I'm going to do this twice. The same process twice, but I'm going to fast forward through the second one. We got to do it twice for science, you guys. For science. It's all about the science. And that's the way it's going to be. Actually, I just want to play some more. Because I want to play with the hardness of how I push. Now you'll have to play on your own, but yeah, this is what we're doing. So I'm going to just use Payne's Gray. The colors that I'm using and the stencils that I'm using are quite similar to the ones that she uses in her video, just because I wanted to really kind of, I need to duplicate her process a little bit and learn. This is the first time I'm doing it, so it's not like I practiced this before I did this. It's kind of a, I'm going to turn it on and record and see what happens. And then I'm going to record it so that if it's cool, then I have it for posterity's sake. All right, let's pull up the paint. This is the rice paper. Did I get all the holes? All right. And we're going to have to kind of be quicker on this because we're going to pull ghost prints on all of these. Okay, you sit there, and I'm going to do this one. This one is going to be the 24, which is regular, just printer paper. It's my, I have an inkjet and a laser, so it works for both. So I don't know if there's different weights for ones that work for both, but like I said, just regular old printer paper. It's what I have on hand. I was actually shocked as I was going through all of this. I'm like, wow, I have a lot of pounds of paper. I had no idea I had so many paper types because in real life, I've never paid attention before. I've always just kind of gone by feel, right? Oh, this feels good. This feels fine. Oh, this is not thick enough for this project, or blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, oh, let me pull up a little. And I'm not pressing hard. I'm just making sure that the holes, like the gaping holes, are not displayed. All right, so this is 24. Or, excuse me, I'm not paying attention to my words either. I'm just making sure that I've got all the holes pulled out. I'm not, you know, trying to like make it super clean, but I do want to make sure that I've, you know, got a clean pull and a clean stencil. All right, this is just one layer, so it should be just fine. Neato. Neato. So I can already see some depth differences. Now see, I didn't, here in this little area here, I didn't make sure it was real clean. So that's my bad. In between these little flowers here. But you can definitely see the difference between the two. Now it's a subtle difference, but it's a difference, right? All right, so now we're gonna do 80 and 110. Okay, so this is an 80-pound cardstock. I think I already said that, but you know, doesn't hurt to say it again. Okay. Whoa, there's a lot left behind here. There we go, that's better. And a little piece in between the flowers. Okay. £80. $110. Oh, look at me. I can rub and brayer at the same time. Getting it off. Okay. Oh, see, I missed a big old chunky right there. Okay, so this is 110. Okay, so 80 on the side, 110. I think that once all the pictures are lined up together, you can tell a difference. But honestly, I think, obviously, the biggest difference is going to be between like the rice paper and the 140-pound paper, right? So that's where the big difference is going to be. But this is still a cool experiment. So I'm going to do the 140-pound paper. And I just decided as I'm looking at these that for the next pull that I do for science, I'm actually going to do a different background color because I think that this ochre is just a little too dark, and it's making the stencil, the foreground of the stencil, making it look a little bit busy. So I'm going to use a lighter color. 140 pound. Oh shit, 140 pound. First I got to take the paint off. Just the way the cookie crumbles. I hope it's not too dry for me to pick up. Don't be too dry, don't be too dry, don't be too dry. Okay, it came out good. See, so the biggest difference is between the rice paper and the 140 pound. There's a lot more depth here. A lot more depth. I mean, the depth in the background, the depth in the foreground, the flowers, because there's more paint that is sticking around the outside of the stencil. And then this one is just like super clean. So I'm going to do this again, but I'm just going to fast forward through most of it. And I think that for the second round, instead of using the yellow ochre, I'm going to use this Naples yellow red. It looks like it's a little bit softer, so I'm going to use these two colors and then still use the Payne's gray. Same stencils and same everything, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about science.
slam the door. When I come into the bedroom, cause I'm the king of the castle. Turn me on, turn me loose. Come on, come on. Try to hit it, it's a hassle. Come get some of this. Don't forget the innuendo. Play me like Nintendo. Never ever let go. Keep it so loud, you be hitting the crescendo. 2, 3, 4, so latido. Come baby, baby, come, come. Come baby, baby, come, come. Well, you gotta give me loving and you gotta give me some. You gotta give me loving and you gotta give me some. Come baby, baby, come, come. Come baby, baby, come, come. Well, you gotta give me loving and you gotta give me some. You gotta give me loving and you gotta give me some. The telephone goes ring. Hello, hello. But we're still getting busy. Now you're getting dizzy. I can slow it down so you can pump it.
Okay, so God, you guys, I was jamming so hard. Oh, so fun. I'll put the music that I was listening to in the comments just in case you care. It was awesome because I just put it on like random, and obviously my random little gnome inside of my phone, you know, do you have a phone gnome? Yeah. So my little gnome said she is in the mood for old school today, and that is what we got. So that was awesome. So on the left is the version 2. On the right is version 1, but they're still the same papers. And I wanted to also clarify the paper that I'm pulling this on. This paper here is the 110-pound cardstock. Okay. So I don't know if that makes a difference. I don't think that it should, but who knows? There's so many variables, right? So this here is the rice paper on both. I guess what I noticed is that the lines are a bit crisper, but there's still depth in here. There's still these shadows in here. But as we move forward, right, it's going to get darker and darker and darker. So there's the rice paper. Version 2, version 1, pretty similar. Again, this is the 24 pounds. So this is the regular printer paper. It's pretty freaking crisp. There are some drop shadows, but the drop shadows are a bit harder. So the first round, I'm going to go with the second round as being a bit more true to me, because the first round I was just trying to get a feel for it and see what the heck was going on. The second round I just did me, and you know, did it how I would normally do it. Oh, and then also between these rounds I also cleaned my brayers and the plate so that it would be a little bit similar. This one, I don't know what the hell happened. This is the 80-pound on each of these. This one is just like, hi, I'm not even going to exist for you. And this one's a bit darker, so not sure what happened there, but what we're looking at is the kind of the drop shadow inside, and I can see that this drop shadow is starting to get bigger up as we move up in the poundage. Okay, so this would be the 110. So this is version 2 of the 110. Again, much more pronounced drop shadow going on here. This is version 1. Okay. Now here we go. This is the money shot, y'all. This is the 140-pound paper. The depth on here is pretty crazy. Now I would love to have, I didn't go fast enough, and I needed to clean up some of the schmutz in the middle, but if you, I mean, the depth on here is nuts. If you even look at the background, the depth on the background, it kind of looks like it's popping off the page. So using the 140-pound paper really does make a big difference. So I'm going to compare version 2. I want the version 240, that's rice paper. Oh wait, version 240 is in my hand. What a freaking dork I am. Okay, this is what I wanted to compare. Version 2 rice paper to the 140-pound paper. So the rice paper is very clean, really nice outlines, not a real drop shadow, but very crisp, clean, dark. And then we've got the 140-pound paper, which is a lot more depth. I wish I would have got the schmutz off a little bit more. Here's the 140 pound in version 1. So you can see what the difference is. That's a pretty cool little experiment. I definitely see now that I'm going to be using rice paper or the 140 pound, right? I'm not going to probably care about the stuff in the middle because the stuff in the middle is too negligible. But there is a big difference between the first two. And I would assume that tissue paper would work very similarly to rice paper. Deli paper would be kind of in that same realm as the rice paper, where it would give you that really crisp line. So, gosh, that's pretty freaking awesome. I love the depth on these. Okay, well, that's it for now. That's all I wanted to get done this morning. So, now I have to go to work. But love you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Then I move it fast so you can pump it. 2 balls in a back, but bitch, I wears a hat. Sliding into home base, trying to hit a home run. Swing, bada, 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 bada.